to another live with Speak English with Aurelie. Today we are going to explore key sentences to negotiate in English. And if you do not know me, my name is Aurelie, aka Aurelie. I help business leaders and professionals speak English confidently. And let's get down to business. So today I'm going to introduce you to these key phrases using my business English survival kit that I'm promoting today, to be honest and transparent. And I have a present for the people attending this live and the people also who are going to watch the replay. You can have access to this business English survival kit with a 50% discount with the code live. Anyway, let's get going. So today I said that I'm going to be speaking a bit of French as well. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to read the translation from the kit here, as you can see. And imagine you're about to negotiate in English. We're going to take the example of real estate, around buying or selling a flat, apartment, also you can say. So if you are interested in the opportunity to buy or to sell, you can say, oh, I'm interested in exploring this opportunity. Donc, je suis intéressée par cette opportunité. I'm interested in exploring this opportunity to buy this flat. I'm interested in exploring this opportunity to sell my downtown apartment. All right. So I want it to be very practical. So feel free to repeat after me to practice your English. This is a space where you can practice your listening skills, but practice also your speaking skills by repeating, by trying to say it as well. And feel free to ask me questions. Sentez-vous libre de me poser des questions, de commenter, de dire hello in the comment sections. It's always nice to interact with you. Okay. Another way to show interest and preference is to just say, this is a great option for us. So imagine you're there willing to buy or sell something. This is a great option for us to sell now while the market is growing. This is a great option for us to buy now. You can repeat after me. Try to integrate this in your English, in your vocabulary. This is a great option for us. You can see the translations. C'est une excellente option pour nous. Next key sentence to express interest and preference. You can say, oh, we're looking for a solution that meets our needs. There you say that you're looking for something for you. Nous cherchons une solution qui répond à nos besoins. We're looking for a solution that meets our needs. In the context of real estate, donc dans notre contexte, je suis en train de donner des exemples dans le contexte de l'immobilier, real estate. On pourrait dire, oh, we are looking for a solution that meets our needs to close the sale quickly. Okay, nous cherchons une solution qui répond à nos besoins de pouvoir rapidement terminer cette vente, rapidement vendre ce bien. And I can say, oh, when you have a proposal for the next sentence, you can say, this proposal aligns with our goals to move to a smaller property. Imagine you want to buy, and you say, oh, this proposal aligns with our goals to move to a smaller property. Cette proposition correspond à l'objectif de déménager dans un endroit plus petit, par exemple. Okay, and next sentence, we are open to discussing the details. Nous sommes disposés à discuter les détails. So you're showing interest, you're showing you want to know more, and you want to know the details, and you want to talk about them. All right, let's move on to another section, which is making offers. So remember, we have an example of real estate, an example de l'immobilier, and you just want to say you want to make the offer. So I like to make an offer to you. straightforward. Je voudrais vous faire une offre. I like to make an offer. And for example, you could say, I like to make an offer to you of a 5% discount. J'aimerais bien vous faire une offre d'un discount, d'une réduction de 5%. Like today, I'm making an offer to you. And my discount is not 5%, but 50%. Comme aujourd'hui, à travers ce live, je fais une offre. Je voudrais vous faire une offre de 50% sur ce business kit que je suis en train d'utiliser pour ce live. So I like to make an offer to you of 50% discount on the business English survival kit. Une phrase que vous pouvez utiliser pour faire vos offres en anglais. Next one. Here's a proposal that I think you'll find attractive. So imagine you're there with the real estate example, and you can say, here's a proposal that I think you'll find attractive. I'll include all kitchen appliances if you meet my asking price. Je traduis, donc c'est, voici une proposition que je pense vous trouverez attractive. Je vais inclure tout l'équipement de la cuisine si vous acceptez mon prix. Here's a proposal that you'll find attractive. I'll include all the kitchen appliances. Or with my example with the business English survival kit, here's a proposal that I think you'll find attractive. Je vous propose une réduction de 50%. I'll offer you a discount of 50%. My mind is like, for a second, I didn't know if I was speaking English or French. That's so funny. I hope you can follow me. Let me know if you managed to follow me. This is a new format of giving you key sentences together with the translation so it can make more sense for you and you can see how to use it. Anyway, next sentence, how about if we? This is a really great way to suggest something. How about if we split the cost of the repairs? Coming back to my real estate example. Donc, cet exemple, c'est que diriez-vous si nous partageons les coûts de réparation? How about if we split the cost of the repairs? Next, I propose that. Very similar to French. You can also say I suggest that, because sometimes propose is also used when you want to propose and say, do you want to marry me? But so you can also use in the context of negotiation, I propose that, I suggest that. I propose that we close within 45 days to accommodate your timeline. Donc, dans l'exemple de l'immobilier, je suggère que nous terminions ce deal dans les 45 jours suivants. Would you consider, next one, would you consider, I can say, for example, would you consider leaving the closing date flexible within a 2-week window? En français, ça donne, est-ce que vous envisagez garder un peu de flexibilité pour terminer ce deal, flexibilité de 2 semaines, plus ou moins? My suggestion is when you're making an offer, this is a simple but effective sentence. My suggestion is to handle the plumbing issues before we finalize the sale. In the example of real estate, donc dans cet exemple sur l'immobilier, ma suggestion, c'est que nous pouvons terminer tous les problèmes liés à la plomberie avant de finaliser la vente. Je répète ça en anglais. My suggestion is to handle the minor plumbing issues before finalizing the sale. All right. Let's move on. Imagine you are not totally sure about the offer. You want to compromise. Imaginons, nous sommes là, nous voulons trouver un compromis entre les deux. You can say, I'm willing to meet you halfway. Je suis prêt à faire un compromis. I'm willing to meet you halfway. Let's imagine the example of the real estate. I'm willing to meet you halfway between your offer of 208,000 and my asking price of 300,000. Donc, je suis prêt à faire un compromis entre votre offre de 285 000 et mon prix de 300 000. I'm willing to meet you halfway between your offer and my asking price. Another way to express the fact that you want to compromise in your negotiation is the next sentence. Let's find a middle ground. Trouvons un terrain d'entente. Let's find a middle ground on which appliances stay with the property. Donc, trouvons un terrain d'entente sur quel équipement va rester dans le bien qu'on cherche à acheter. Dans cet exemple de l'immobilier, real estate. Another one, straight to the point. I'm open to a compromise. Je suis ouvert à un compromis. I'm open to a compromise, for example, on the closing timeline to suit all your needs. Donc, je suis ouvert à un compromis pour la fermeture du temps limité pour répondre à tous tes besoins, tous vos besoins, si on vous voit la personne. We can work together to find a solution. Nous pouvons travailler ensemble pour trouver une solution. We can work together to find a solution. Ça, c'est aussi assez direct. For example, we can work together to find a solution regarding the concern about the garden. Donc, on pense à cet exemple de l'immobilier. Nous pouvons travailler ensemble pour trouver une solution concernant l'inquiétude par rapport au jardin. J'ai dit ça en anglais. We can work together to find a solution regarding the concern about the garden. And the last example, when you want to compromise in a negotiation, you can say, would you be open to? That's a good one to come with a question. So it shows that you are open to negotiate. And it's better to speak like this politely and open in English and not be that direct. So, would you be open to handling the paperwork through my company, preferred company? Seriez-vous ouvert à gérer tout le côté administratif avec une compagnie, une société de mon choix, par exemple? Would you be open to handle the paperwork through my preferred title company? Ou la société que je préfère ici. All right. Good. Let's carry on now. If you're not agreeing during a negotiation, so you're not, vous n'êtes pas d'accord. You're not agreeing. In a way to say that in a professional way, instead of saying I don't agree, je ne suis pas d'accord, au lieu de dire je ne suis pas d'accord de manière directe, on peut utiliser plusieurs phrases qui font plus pro. You can use different sentences that look more professional and that express your disagreement. For example, I'm not comfortable with that. You can even add, I'm not quite comfortable with that. Je ne suis pas à l'aise avec ça. I can say, I'm not quite comfortable with that price. Je ne suis pas à l'aise avec ce prix. I'm not comfortable with those conditions. Je ne suis pas assez à l'aise avec ces conditions. Next sentence. I don't think that's feasible. Je ne pense pas que cela soit réalisable. For example, if the person is asking to reduce the price, I don't think that's feasible to reduce the price by 50%. Je ne pense pas que cela soit réalisable de réduire le prix de 15%. I don't think that's feasible. Next sentence. That's not something I can consider. Ce n'est pas quelque chose que je peux envisager. Ça, c'est assez direct, mais c'est pas trop brusque, ça fait pro. That's not something I can consider. For example, with the real estate one, that's not something I can consider to repair and to redo the garden. C'est pas quelque chose que je peux envisager de refaire, réparer un jardin. Je sais pas vraiment si on peut dire réparer un jardin, but you understand what I mean. Another one, I'm afraid I can't meet that demand. J'ai bien peur de ne pouvoir satisfaire cette demande. I'm afraid I can't meet that demand to replace all the windows. J'ai bien peur de ne pas pouvoir satisfaire cette demande de remplacer toutes les fenêtres dans notre exemple de l'immobilier. Another one, sometimes you need to be straightforward and say things the way they are, and you may have to, those conditions are unacceptable. Parfois, on a besoin d'être direct et peut-être on peut avoir besoin de dire ces conditions sont inacceptables et d'être vraiment clair. Those conditions are unacceptable. Straight to the point here. And then, if you're not sure about some elements, si vous n'êtes pas sûr de certains points, you could say, I have some reservations about whatever. For example, I have some reservations about your financing pre-approval status. Donc, j'ai quelques réservations sur les statuts du financement. Ici, dans notre exemple de real estate, de l'immobilier. And this is a good one if you agree with some parts, but not all. Moving on, reaching agreement. Well, finally, you have been negotiating and you're reaching to a point where you agree. Then you need to express it. Donc, à un moment donné, vous avez négocié et vous arrivez à un moment où vous vous êtes mis d'accord. Donc, c'est important de savoir l'exprimer aussi en anglais. Oh, I see a comment. You're doing well in English and French. Is your Dutch evolving? Christophe, that's a good question. I can answer it, even though it's not really the topic. My Dutch is evolving. However, I'm not yet able to negotiate in Dutch. I can talk about myself. Donc, Christophe me dit que pour moi, ça va bien en anglais et en français. Est-ce que mon néerlandais évolue? Parce que je fais ce challenge de me remettre au néerlandais après plus de 14 ans sans pratiquer pour mieux comprendre et aider mes clients qui se remettent à l'anglais. Et pour répondre à Christophe, j'avance bien en néerlandais, mais je ne suis pas encore capable de négocier. Thanks, Christophe, for your comment and for popping by my life. So where was I at? So reaching agreement. You can say, I think we have a deal. Je pense que nous avons un accord. And to give you an example with more in the sentence, I think we have a deal on the 295,000 sale price with a June 30th closing. Donc, je pense que nous avons un accord sur le deal du prix de 295 000 et une date limite du 30 juin, par exemple. Let's finalize the agreement. Finalisons l'accord. You can say, for example, let's finalize the agreement on what furnishing will stay with the house. Donc, trouvons un accord sur quel meuble va rester dans la maison, dans cet exemple de l'immobilier que j'ai pris ici. Then you can just express yourself saying, I'm happy with the terms. Vous pouvez vous exprimer votre satisfaction en disant, je suis satisfait des termes. I'm happy with the terms. Very professional as well. Next one, we've reached a mutual beneficial agreement. Nous sommes parvenus à un accord mutuellement avantageux. This is also another way of expressing your satisfaction with the agreement. Let's shake hands on it. This will depend as well on the context, if people shake hands where you are, but most cultures do, at least European ones. Once you're finalizing the deal, let's shake hands on it. So, serrons-nous la main. Or let's check on it. You can also say that. And at the end, once the offer has been accepted, you can say you've got yourself a deal. Quand l'offre a été acceptée, vous pouvez aussi vous exprimer en disant you've got yourself a deal, vous avez obtenu un accord. Avec cet exemple de real estate, de l'immobilier, on peut dire you've got yourself a deal at 300 to 20,000 with the kitchen included, par exemple. Donc, j'ai dit, vous avez obtenu un accord sur le deal de 320 000 euros avec la cuisine inclus. And then we're closing the deal. Finally, we have to do some practical things. First, we express that we've reached an agreement, and then we're closing the deal. And you can say, let's sign the contract. Signons le contrat. Let's sign the contract tomorrow when you come to see the property again. Signons le contrat demain quand vous venez visiter le bien. Donc ça, c'était dans notre exemple de l'immobilier. Another example, another key sentence is when can we proceed with? Donc, pour exprimer les prochaines étapes lorsqu'on a conclu un accord. When can we proceed with the signature of the contract? For example, quand pourrons-nous procéder à la signature de contrat? Next one, I'm ready to move forward. Pour exprimer qu'on veut aller à l'étape suivante. Après cette mise d'accord, I'm ready to move forward. Je suis prêt à avancer. I'm ready to move forward with the sale as we've discussed. Donc, je suis prêt à avancer avec la vente telle que nous l'avons discuté. Again, you can also say here when you are closing, let's finalize this agreement with our real estate attorneys. Donc, finalisons cet accord avec nos avocats dans l'immobilier. Par ailleurs, je ne suis pas traductrice. La traduction, c'est tout un métier. Je dis toujours que les traducteurs, ils étudient 5 ans à l'université. Donc, c'est aussi une compétence à acquérir. Donc, plus ou moins les traductions ici. I'm looking forward to working with you. Ça, c'est une phrase typique, mais qui fait vraiment pro et c'est important de savoir l'utiliser et surtout de ne pas oublier le ing, c'est une faute très courante. On ne dit pas I'm looking forward to work with you, mais always I'm looking forward to working with you. Je suis impatient, j'ai hâte de travailler avec vous. I'm looking forward to completing the deal with you. I'm looking forward to moving on, etc. So here we are. I went through it quite fast. I'm looking forward, I forgot to say the translation. Ça peut être traduit comme je suis impatient, j'ai hâte de travailler avec vous. Voilà des phrases clés que vous pouvez utiliser, vous entraîner à dire, vous les approprier. Je n'encourage pas forcément d'apprendre par cœur plein de phrases, mais choisir des phrases qui vous semblent utiles, pertinentes, avec lesquelles vous pensez être confortable ou vous souhaitez être confortable, commencez à les insérer dans votre vocabulaire, dans vos échanges en anglais. So, now it's your turn to start choosing a couple of them, not all of them. I would say choose the one that you like, that you prefer, that you feel comfortable with, or that you would like to feel comfortable with. For example, for me, the one that says, let's find a middle ground, I think it sounds professional. Or I'm willing to meet you halfway if you want to compromise in a negotiation. Would you consider, how about if I say that one a lot, how about if we do that? We want to suggest something and start practicing, start using them in your conversations. If you have no one to speak to, speak alone. I do that with my Dutch here. Christophe commented about me learning Dutch, and one way I do that is by speaking by myself, by using key sentences like that are useful to attain my goals, my Dutch goals. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Remember, I have this special discount for you if you want to have access to this business English survival kit. You have lots of key sentences, key phrases to use in different scenarios, professional scenarios, common ones like negotiation that we went through today. I have one about presenting with confidence if you have a presentation in English. And you always have the here the audio so you can hear how to pronounce it properly and practice. You also have the French translation so that you know what it means. You have different topics here. You also have key vocabulary, common business expressions. I've gathered the most common one, the most useful ones. You also have key vocabulary by industry. So today, for example, I gave example with real estate. You have other ones, management, project management, investment, human resources, coaching. You also have access to the 50 common English mistakes by French speakers with examples. So you have lots of things in this kit, and you can have access to it today with a 50% discount with the code LIFE. Oh, thank you, Thierry, for passing by. My pleasure. It was a pleasure for me today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for watching the replay as well. If you're watching the replay, you also have access to the discount. Donc, j'ai dit aujourd'hui que j'allais parler un petit peu aussi en français. Donc, j'ai présenté ici ce Business English Survival Kit. Vous avez accès à 50% de réduction avec le code LIFE jusqu'au 30 avril. Merci de m'avoir rejoint aujourd'hui, que ce soit en direct ou avec le replay. Je vous dis à mercredi prochain à 13h. So see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye everyone.